Okay. Using this hot knife has buckled that a little bit, but it's not important because this will glue in. So this part now glues in there. Okay, now before we glue this in place, I have another little piece to cut out here. Again, there's a little recess, and that's for the aileron extension cables to go through into the fuselage. So again, I'll just cut this out. This hot knife is supposed to it does sort of work. Whether it's that damn good, it would be good if it was good, but it's not. Okay, that'll do. Okay, this little recess here is for the block to sit on. It's just a recess so that it sets the block where it's supposed to be. Before I put that on, now we've also got in here two little, again, recesses for the servos. These are for the rudder and the elevator servos. Again, they can't be cut out during printing or before, you know, as it's been printed, because it wouldn't print. So I just put a recess in there, and it can be simply cut out with a knife. Likewise, there's a little recess at the top there. You can see these recesses. A little recess just in the print, and one at the top, and the one at the top is for the motor extension wires to come through. So I'm going to cut these out now. I'm not sure about the Okay guys, we're back. I've cut out the holes there for the servos, and the servos there, and the one for the extension cable for the motor there. I've test fitted a servo somewhere just to make sure it fits okay. There we go. So the servo will fit in there. We can fit these servos afterwards, and we can just, with a screwdriver down there, to remove the servo horns, etc. So now we need to glue the former on here. Before we do this, again, because of the printing, we have to just take out a little tiny bit there, just for the magnet, the recess for the magnet. So I'm just going to use, again, you can use a knife or the hot knife, solder knife. I'm just going to use my Dremel. That's really all it needs. And that's all it is there, just there. I've just taken a little bit of recess out to go with the recess in the former. That's for the magnet to fit in, and as you can see, it just needs a tiny bit more out of there, which I'll do now. It can be done now or after anyway. That's it. Just a little recess for the magnet to go into. Okay, so that can be glued in place now. I'll probably do my best to get myself glued up here. It's not easy to hold these things. Just wipe off the excess. It's nice and flat. And again, there's a little tiny lip which I'll it comes off quite easy like that. And then just run a sand around it, which I've done already on this one. And this one. So I will rub them down and sand them down later. Okay. So now we can clip this into there. This is a glue joint, this one. It simply slips in and glues together. Before I do that, I'm just going to make sure these holes are clear where the push rods go, because I'm not going to be able to get into them afterwards. And because this clips on, I can get to these down here, so that's fine. Okay, I'll glue these two together now. I often wonder if it's better to put the glue on this side or inside on the other section. If you put it on the inside on the other section, you don't get the same overflow, overspill, and it's a lot neater joint actually. Just make sure that's in all the way. all the joint together in that section there because it tends to want to come apart. There's one thing about using super glue, CA glue, it's very quick. And of course the downside is if you don't get it together quick, then yeah, it can be a mess. Okay, now this sits in here. That's quite a tight fit, and I've done that solid. That's a solid piece there for about 3mm. So I can actually, I'm not going to glue this in, I don't think. I'll see how it goes, but I don't really want to glue it in, so it's easier to take it off to get the wing in and out. And you can actually put a couple of screws in there, because as I say, this lip here is solid, and I did it purposely so I could either screw it or glue it. We have a little block that sits in here, and I don't know if you know, but the wings on the Bixler are in two parts. They're sliding together, held together with a carbon fibre tube, and on the Bixler the screws come in from the bottom. Well, because I've got the carbon fibre tube running through the bottom section, I've actually made so the screws to hold the wing in place and to hold the wing together screw down from the top, and they do work because I tried it on the other one. I really should have done this little block in red, but I didn't. I did it in white. Not that it's a problem. And that actually fits in like so, like so. I did actually, this is actually the wrong file I've used, because I have made it with a longer lip in there again, so I can put a screw through there and through there. I might reprint that again. But that's the idea. It goes in there like that, and the block sits between the two. The block will be glued onto this bottom section, but as I say, I want to have this piece removable if possible. This is the motor pod. There's two little recesses there and two little lips on there, so that it can only go in one way, and that's going to stop it twisting. So that slides in there, and then a couple of recesses there and a couple of tiny screws, and we'll screw through into this section here, which is again a solid, and that'll just hold the motor pod in place. Should we want to change the motor or something else, we can simply take the screws out and pull out the pod. So that'll be the way that goes. The front section, now we can, again, the front section is just a glue joint on this part. We'll have to just take out a little fraction there, just there, again, because it wouldn't print properly if I don't leave that bit in. We just take out that tiny little bit there so that it fits into this nose section, and we'll glue that in place like so. Will only go one way. recess. Just right on. And then we've got the little nose with a hole in the bottom for cooling, and again that just simply glues in there. So this will actually be in 3 sections. I'll just run the bead of glue around the inside on this one, just to make it a bit easier. Yes, you get less overspill if you do the inside. I should do that, really. It's much neater than having the overspill on the outside of the fuselage. Here we've got the nose with the one hole is for the tube, the carbon fibre tube, and the other's for cooling straight into the fuselage. Okay, so that's the nose. Now we can fit this thing together. We've got a couple of recesses there for magnets. They're 10 by 2, 10 millimeters by 2 millimeters thick, and the same in the hatch there, and one in the end. So that'll fit there, and then there's just the one in the end there. So we'll put the fuselage together, just to make sure everything fits. Slide in, and same with the front. Would have been better had it been in the slots. There we go. And then we slide the carbon fibre through, like so. And now there's no way you can get them joints apart until you take out the carbon fibre tube. That'll fit in there, like so. Now the wing, just get shut up a bit of it. Move that back there. Okay, now the wing, let's move some things back a bit. The wings are held together with a what you're supposed to do is slide the two halves together into the fuselage. If we can leave this as a screw-on part, then we can put the wings together like this first, and then slide them in like this way. make it a little easier to take off, to remove the wings and put the wings back. That little block will sit in there, which will keep that centralized, like so. And then this will clip in. I'm not sure it's going to work. But that's the idea. I've got a feeling that this might tend to want to come apart. With the other one, I actually made it so this was fitted together. The only thing about having this in one piece together like that is the fact that to feed the aileron wires down, and it's not really an easy thing to do, to slide this on, and then whilst it will fit, and it's quite a good fit, it was very fiddly, and I was hoping that I could maybe have this as a removable part, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Okay, I've glued the, all I've done is just used super glue and glued the magnets into the little recesses for the hatch. There we go, there's the hatch. Nice and tight, it's not going to come off. Whoa, that's a nice tight fit. Yes, okay, could do to be just a fraction longer there. You can see the joint. I'll make that, I'll just stretch those fractions. But as this is the first one, prototype, it needs to be made just that little bit longer. That fits nice. And as you can see, the nose is longer. Where's my... this is the one made out of lightweight PLA. And as you can see, because the tail is going to be heavier on this, the PLA one, than it was on the lightweight PLA, I've made the nose a little bit longer to hopefully compensate. So that'll be, as you can see, the nose is about 30mm. Yeah, it's about 30mm longer anyway, but you can see that, and it gives more room for a bigger battery and more room in general. With this one, it's only just balanced, so it may be better just to go with the longer nose anyway. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.